A Gathering of Gargoyles by Meredith and Pierce. Chapter 3, Messengers. Ariel lay on a low, flat couch in the outer chamber of the apartment the lady had given them. Save for herself, the suite stood empty. She had sent the attendants all away, bade one beg the lady to excuse her from supping. The room was dark, completely still, no lamp wicks burning in other chambers. Starlight through the windows lit dim squares upon the floor. Ariel traced the smooth, uneven pattern in the wood of the couch's side. It was wet. Her cheeks were wet. Ariel sat up, sighing. She blinked, momentarily giddy from having lain so long. "This is witless," she told herself. "I am worn out with sleeping. I should sleep." She closed her eyes and leaned back against the cool stone of the wall. She felt herself growing very still, and some thread, spinning out of her into the night. The light around her began to change. She perceived, without turning, night sky over Istrinus. Low over the west, the ring of yellow stars formed like a crown, or maidens dancing, began to shift and lose its shape. 13 pricks of yellow light drifted toward her over the sea of dust. Silently, like fireflies, they came and entered the room through the broad windows on either side of her. Golden flickers, each no bigger than a hand, they alighted upon the dark floor in a circle with Ariel at the head. Then, like someone turning up the wicks of 13 lamps at once, the little fires expanded, growing brighter, until they stood narrow and tall as women. Ariel felt almost a pressure upon her shoulder. Opening her eyes, she beheld 13 maidens of golden light. Only 3 day-months ago they had been wraiths, the vampire's stolen brides. Ariel had rescued them, spun thread for their garments on a spindle that drew from the spinner's own heart. Then she had stood with the wraiths in the dark angel's tower, watching their withered bodies crumble, their freed souls ascend. Upon her right stood the first she had saved, the one called Maria. Upon her left, the Icarus's last bride before Ariel. "Eowyn," said Ariel. The light maiden smiled. "Yes, companion. You have come back to me." "For a little," another said. "We followed the thread you spun for us." She gave a twitch on something Ariel could not see, though she felt a strange, subtle tugging against her heart. "I spun no thread." "Who has once mastered that golden spindle," Maria said, "never loses the knack." Ariel shook her head, not understanding. "I have been so alone. Why have you not come to me before?" Eowyn knelt. "We may come only along the path you make, and until this hour your heart has spun no strand long enough to find us, or strong enough to hold." The maiden, standing beside her, sighed, fiddling with something between her fingers. "Despair's a heavy strand, though very strong." "Next time you must spin joy, Ariel," another maiden said. "Yes, joy. There's a thread." Ariel put both hands against her breast. Against the ache, her heart felt bruised. "Leave off," said Maria suddenly, sternly. The maidens abruptly ceased their fiddling, eyed one another with guilty glances. "Why have you come?" said Ariel. Beside her, Maria knelt, as Eowyn had done. "Deep heaven is a rare place. We like it very well. All there is light and unencumbering, and we may dance together as much as we choose." "But we saw you were unhappy," another said, "here in a strange country, with your chieftain's son. We never liked him." Ariel sat up, let her hands fall from her breast. "He is not the same creature who stole you away. He is no more the dark angel." "That is true," one maiden said. "But still the white witch whispers to him in dreams." "Dreams," breathed Ariel. "Do you know his dreams?" "His dreams," said Eowyn, laying her hands on Ariel's knees. He dreams," said Eowyn, laying her hands on Ariel's knees, "of a long, narrow hall, all of cold crystal stone, that makes the witch's house." "The witch sits before him at the far end of the hall," another maiden said, "upon a siege as white as salt. She holds in hand a fine silver chain that binds the young man's wrist. 'Come back to me, my love, my own sweet son,' she calls. Then she begins to gather in the chain." Ariel flinched. "He would not tell me. He has never told me what he dreamed." None of the maidens spoke. "Does he go to her?" breathed Ariel. "What happens in the dream?" "We do not know," one maiden said. He does not know. He cannot know, Ariel.